The new Mankato Regional Office of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. Thank you for joining us, not only in person, but online. Today's speakers will be Governor Tim Walz, Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson, Minnesota BCA Superintendent Drew Evans, and Blue Earth County Sheriff Jeff Wursel. After statements, we will take a brief question and answer session, followed by, we'll be walking outside here, outside the tent on your right, to do a ceremonial shovel turn. So with that, Governor Walz.
Well, thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great. I said it's always good to come back home, and just really grateful for all the folks who are here, grateful for this community hosting what we considered this going to be the nation's state-of-the-art crime lab. This project has been advocated by the folks in this room, especially our law enforcement partners, for a very long time. What this facility will be able to do is be able to process up to 6,000 cases, 12,000 pieces of evidence. It will allow law enforcement not have to take time away to drive evidence up to the Twin Cities to have that evidence processed so that we can get what we need to process crime scenes. It will make sure that there's BCA agents on the scene faster. There's going to be 50 high-paying jobs that are in this facility. That's in addition to the construction jobs that will be here. But it's all part of the investment, and I want to give a huge thank you. We have a bipartisan group of legislators here at the state level who were instrumental in making sure over the last several years we've invested the largest amount in law enforcement in state history in many different things. We've also invested simultaneously in infrastructure. And so earlier this month, the study came out about safety in general, safety around your person, safety from crime, safety on the roads, and Minnesota ranked as a top 10 state for safety. That is a thank you to all of the folks here. We have Minnesota State Patrol here, who this year have dropped traffic deaths by nearly a third that we've seen. We saw them spike after COVID, and now Minnesota once again is one of the two states with the lowest traffic safety deaths on our highways, and that's in a testament. That's making sure they have the resources necessary. This facility here has been long in the making. I'm grateful for all of the partners who will be using this. This will be the local folks, this is the county folks, and while this will speed up processing time for crime scene investigations in southern Minnesota, it'll have a cascading effect of taking pressure off the St. Paul BCA lab that will allow us to do more there. And this is all part of making sure we're able to process those crime scenes, get the evidence necessary, make sure it goes to the courts, and we're able to make sure that safety is the top priority. So just incredibly grateful. This entire facility with the new public safety building, with the investments that Mankato has made, is just really going to make a difference. So I congratulate everyone who was here. This is how I think how people want to see how things are supposed to work. Bipartisan investments, collaborating with the local community, making investments to ensure that Minnesota stays as one of those top 10 safest states. So really grateful for that. You're going to hear from some folks who make this happen, but amongst them is our Commissioner of Public Safety, Bob Jacobson, is going to say a few words.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Bob Jacobson. I had the honor of serving as the Commissioner of Public Safety for the state of Minnesota. Thank you, Governor Walz, for your support of public safety and for recognizing the critical role that the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension plays in serving every community in Minnesota. Your leadership and the legislature's support made possible today a tangible investment in safer communities and stronger law enforcement partnerships. I also want to thank the local and state law enforcement partners who have joined us today. Your daily collaboration and commitment to justice are what make our collective mission possible. The BCA's strength lies in its people, the agents, forensic scientists, analysts, and support staff who will bring specialized investigative and scientific resources to southern Minnesota. Their work often happens behind the scenes, but their impact is seen in every community that becomes safer because of their efforts. From crime scene response to forensic analysis to technology-driven investigations, BCA professionals are dedicated to public service, to criminal justice, and to the communities and the people of Minnesota. This new regional office is a direct reflection of their commitment to excellence and the trust the people of Minnesota place in them. And with that, I will ask Superintendent Drew Evans to please come up and say a few words as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Governor, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. As I drove down here today, it was a great day. It's a beautiful day in southern Minnesota, and it was wonderful because those of us in the Twin Cities don't have access to the wonderful Casey's markets that are sprinkled throughout all of southern Minnesota. So I got a couple of pieces of pizza in Waterville and had a great conversation. I was born in Mankato. My 98-year-old grandmother lives in Mankato still to this day. My great-great-grandpa was the mayor and town barber in Madison Lake, just east of here, growing up. And so southern Minnesota certainly has a special place in my heart. But part of what this is and what this represents today is not just being family here, but every time I've been here is law enforcement has a special and unique relationship in southern Minnesota. I don't know if it's from the farming past, of southern Minnesota in general, but the amount of cooperation and simply working together to solve problems every day is something I've noticed over all of my time at the BCA. And this is a representation of this coming together, of the support of all of our local partners, from law enforcement and county attorneys to our legislators, and the support of the governor in moving this forward for now, but into the future. This building is designed to be here. It's a 50-year building. That's a 50-year commitment not only to the Mankato area, but all of southern Minnesota as we work together to bring these services to Minnesota. Part of what we're working on as part of this is to have regionalization so that areas like this can continue to thrive, so those partnerships can be there, so those specialized services can be born across the entire state. And as the governor noted, this benefits the entire state for specialized services. We'll have faster response times. Just this weekend, we were in Brown County on a terrible situation there. This means the crime scene team comes out of Mankato and not out of the Twin Cities, meaning they're on scene. Less time our law enforcement have to be located at that place. We'll have much more convenient access to the tools in our laboratories. Rapid DNA is one of those emerging technologies that we're looking at and how to distribute that across our entire state. And having a hub like this with the regional office is going to make that more possible more quickly. Also to have machines like NIBIN, which is the National Integrated Ballistics Information Network, taking cartridge casings from crime scenes or recovered and enter them in much more conveniently than located in the Twin Cities. And it's also going to be a regional training hub, so that law enforcement partners have to spend less time traversing to the Twin Cities, spending the night overnight for training purposes. They can come here for the day and be back in their communities that they serve each and every day. We'll improve forensic testing and turnaround times, making our scientists much closer to the courtrooms that they serve each and every day as they testify. And we also have other specialized services that are offered across the state that will be here to partner with our law enforcement partners. So again, thank you to everybody. This represents a step forward, not just for the BCA, but please think of this facility as a regional asset to all of southern Minnesota, not simply housing our staff, but available and working together with our partners every day. Thank you for being here, and thank you everyone for the support in making this happen. And I will turn it over to Sheriff Wurzel next from Blue Earth County.
Thanks, Drew.
Good afternoon. Without completely copying everything that Commissioner or Superintendent Evans said, I spent the last 8 years before I was elected sheriff as commanding the drug unit here in Blue Earth County. So I was a victim of the numerous trips to St. Paul and to try to navigate that traffic and the wait times of the lab. And the frustrations for the wait times aren't just on law enforcement, it's on the victims of crime and the people that want the cases settled. And sometimes we had to wait till the BCA lab got what we needed. And to have that literally right in our backyard is going to be great, not only for us, but for the chiefs and sheriffs around the state that no longer have to make that trip again to St. Paul. They can come here. It's easy in, easy out. Selfishly, the space that the BCA currently occupies in my building, I desperately need, because we've done nothing but grown since we moved in 15 years ago. And I see there's carpet here, there's a roof. I think we could probably get moved over here this afternoon after this. Thanks for coming. This is great for southern Minnesota. This is great for law enforcement in the state. So thank you.
Now, for members of the media, if anybody would want to ask a question, or actually anybody here wants to ask a question, please ask. And
let's do on topic, then I can take any if there's off if we're going to break this. And the other thing I would mention on this is in this community, too, of all the assets we have here is the specialized training in this, both law enforcement, the investigators, the forensic, gives us an opportunity with some of the great programs we have here in the higher education, especially at Mankato, up on the hill, Minnesota State Mankato, for folks to be able to get their degree in this specialized work, improving in their community and getting good jobs right here in the community where they want to live. And I think this idea of making sure that state services are dispersed, as you heard the comments, of making sure they're more in the community, making it more accessible to them. And as Sheriff Worcel said, is they've got things to do. We don't need to be taking them out on a long drive up and a long drive back when they can get over here, get in, process it, and then, as we said, end up in court and get the convictions that we need. But please go ahead on specifics.
What's the anticipated completion date for this project?
Yeah, I'm going to let these guys.
Yeah, so we anticipate right now in early 2027, so we're hoping to move into the building sometime in March of 2027, and then there'll be a completion period to do all the landscaping a little bit later, but hope to be in early 2027.
And then you say southern Minnesota, but how many counties will this?
So that kind of grows over, and if you just think of the southern, really third of the state, but it'll kind of curl up around the left side of the flank up into western, up against South Dakota. It will serve quite a few counties across all of that. And, what we target when we look at the services we provide here are those most utilized most often. So DMA, our digital multimedia evidence, DNA, firearms evidence, drug chemistry, as the Sheriff referenced here, those really high throughput that there's a lot of demand for those services, they'll be offered here in Mankato. And if there's anything specialized, then it still can go up to St. Paul, but they can drop it off here and we take care of the transportation.
What's the training look like? Is that things that are going to kind of build off of a criminal justice degree at MSU, or is it going to be its own?
Well, both. As the governor noted, this really represents an opportunity to partner with Minnesota State Mankato, having a number of programs there and a great, state university that we have. So we'll look for areas that we can work together there, and we already have. But we also provide training for our law enforcement professionals through the BCA. We train anywhere from 6,000 to 9,000 students a year statewide in various aspects of leadership development, crime scene examination, you name it, a broad array of law enforcement topics. And this will have a training room that will accommodate up to 60 students, where we'll offer those programs so that they don't have to travel across the state to attend those. So hopefully the ones that were most utilized most often will be down here at this location.
Another follow-up. How many agents are you guys going to be having in this building? Are you guys going to be moving agents from Rochester? Can I talk a little bit about that?
No, so excellent question. Really what this represents is our headquarters location was designed for 366 people. There's probably 540 people in that building. So we have a unique opportunity to really get this building up and operating very quickly when we have turnover in those locations. But what it brings is not the services we've normally had in this location, but we'll bring other specialized, for example, financial crimes that we typically do out of our headquarters location right now. Will be there, additional predatory crimes agents that'll be down here. The mix right now is anticipated to be either 60-40, vice versa, either way between scientists and agents. So about 20, 25 agents in this location, and about the same for our scientists. So as the governor noted, about 50, good working jobs that are professionals that are dedicated to that work and really stay in those jobs for a long time.
How long has it taken to get to this point?
Yeah, so thank you for that question, and thank you again. I just want to reiterate, there's a number of legislators here today that supported us through that process, and as you probably have seen, the bonding process in Minnesota takes a lot of time, and so we've been working on this for 5+ years at this point in time. We're able to get it passed in the last legislative session through all the great work and building of the case and really understanding the critical need, not only now, but into the future for these services in southern Minnesota. So it took us about 5 years to get to this day, a little bit longer.
I would just say it's a testament to the voices of your local legislators, and they work very well down here, as I think many of you know, in a bipartisan manner. And when in bonding, you have to be bipartisan, but when they can bring that together with a unified voice, make the case that this benefits not just their districts, but the entire state, that's how you get these types of projects done. So it's a testament. I go back, I think Drew said that, and it's one of the things I said. I grew up in this community. It's not by design that both Drew and I are from Mankato, and that's why this is here. But I will say what we both learned here is the collaborative nature of how things are done, whether it's between the schools and law enforcement or all kinds of different ways of collaborating together, makes it easier to get these things done. And these legislators bring that same attitude.
Any other on topic? Otherwise, we can do a couple off.
Pretty happy with the Vikings. That was a nice win yesterday. Tell us between that and the Gophers that it's a whole different week. So thank you all. Let's break some ground. Oh, yeah, if you got